Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Nishit Kumar bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is fully ready to protect its sovereignty and integrity, calls on international community to unite against growing threat of terrorism. China says it wants to develop non-confrontational relations with Washington based on mutual benefit. WHO chief cautions against over-dependence on natural herd immunity strategy against coronavirus. Sean Connery, the former James Bond actor, is no more. Philippines orders evacuation as Typhoon Goni approaches its southern coast. Prime Minister Narendra Modi affirmed that today's India is fully ready to protect its sovereignty and integrity. The Prime Minister said India's perspective and attitudes towards borders have also changed. The Prime Minister was addressing the Rashtriya Ekta Divas parade on the occasion of 145th birth anniversary of the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, at the Statue of Unity at Kevadia in Gujarat today. Criticizing the neighbouring countries, Mr. Modi said those eyeing the land of India are getting a befitting reply.
आज भारत की भूमि पर नजर गड़ाने वालों को मुंह तोड़ जवाब देने की ताकत हमारे वीर जवानों के हाथ में है। आज का भारत सीमाओं पर सैकड़ों किलोमीटर लंबी सड़कें बना रहा है, दर्जनों ब्रिज, अनेक सुरंगें लगातार बनाता चला जा रहा है। अपनी संप्रभुता और सम्मान की रक्षा के लिए आज का भारत पूरी तरह सज्ज है, प्रतिबद्ध है, कटिबद्ध है, पूरी तरह तैयार है।
Mr. Modi also called on the international community to unite against increasing threat of terrorism. The Prime Minister said that unity of the world community is necessary for the peace and prosperity of the world. He said India lost thousands of innocent lives in the fight against terrorism. He appealed to the people to unite for the peace and prosperity of the country and achieve the goal of Ek Bharat, Shreshtha Bharat. Chinese Foreign Ministry on Friday said it wants to develop non-confrontational relations with Washington based on mutual benefit and respect. The statement comes a day after its defense ministry said it has held talks with the U.S. on crisis communication. The two countries have been engaged in a bitter war of words amid simmering tensions over the South China Sea. The United States has denied a report on a possible drone attack on Chinese islands in the region. China has figured prominently in election campaigns of both President Donald Trump and his Democratic opponent, Joe Biden. China's ties with the U.S. deteriorated to historic lows under President Trump due to various issues ranging from COVID-19 crisis, technology, trade, and the South China Sea. WHO Chief Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus on Friday cautioned against the strategy of herd immunity to fight the COVID pandemic. After interacting with 3 COVID survivors virtually, Dr. Ghebreyesus said that the strategy would only serve to prolong the road to recovery from COVID.
It really reinforces what a dangerous virus COVID-19 is. It also reinforces to me just how morally unconscionable and unfeasible the so-called natural herd immunity strategy is. Not only would it lead to millions more unnecessary deaths, it would also lead to a significant number of people facing a long road to full recovery. Herd immunity is only possible with safe and effective vaccines that are distributed equitably around the world. And until we have a vaccine, governments and people must do all that they can to suppress transmission, which is the best way to prevent these post-COVID long-term consequences.
Pakistan's Interior Minister Ijaz Ahmed Shah on Saturday said that the federal government has received several petitions seeking charges of high treason against Ayaz Sadiq. The Pakistan Muslim League N PMLN leader and former National Assembly Speaker Ayaz Sadiq has stirred a hornet's nest with his remarks concerning circumstances of release of Indian Air Force Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman. Pakistan lawmaker on Friday stood by his statement that the Imran Khan-led government had released Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman fearing an imminent attack from India. He was quoted as saying that Pakistan Army Chief Qamar Javed Bajwa's legs were shaking, while Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi told the meeting of parliamentary leaders that India was about to attack their country. Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman was returned to India from the Atari-Wagah border on March 1, 2019. He has been awarded the Veer Chakra on Independence Day by President Ramnath Kovind for his exemplary bravery. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. Sir Sean Connery of James Bond fame died at the age of 90. He died peacefully in his sleep in the Bahamas, his family confirmed. The Scottish actor was best known for his portrayal of James Bond, appearing in 7 of the spy thrillers. The Philippine government on Saturday ordered evacuation of thousands of residents in the southern part of Luzon Island as a Category 5 storm approaches the Southeast Asian nation. Typhoon Goni, with 215 km per hour sustained winds and gusts up to 265 km per hour, will make landfall on Sunday as the strongest typhoon to hit the Philippines since Haiyan in 2013. Typhoon Goni is expected to be the strongest storm in this year. Today is World Cities Day. Cities around the world have long been recognized as the engines of growth. However, due to the clustered and dense nature of urban growth, cities have also been the worst affected by the coronavirus pandemic. On this occasion, WHO epidemiologist and physician Dr. Etienne Krog shared his thoughts on how cities can build back better as they emerge from the pandemic.
Talking about building back better and make sure that the world we will live in after COVID is going to be better than the one we had before. So yes, it's an opportunity to try out new things. It's an opportunity to regain some of the spaces that were lost to the car, for example, or that were lost to other issues, and to make sure that our cities improve and become more livable. I think it's important for our physical health just as much as for our mental health.
Now let us take a look at the coronavirus updates. According to WHO data, the number of infected cases has crossed 45.14 million worldwide. Poland recorded a record number of coronavirus infections for the 5th consecutive day on Saturday, with 21,897 new cases, while the country faces massive protests following an abortion ruling last week. Greece will expand a nighttime curfew on movement and shut restaurants and bars in the most populous areas of the country to contain a resurgence in COVID-19 cases. Meanwhile, in India, the COVID-19 recovery rate has crossed 91.34% and the case fatality rate dropping to 1.49%, which is one of the lowest globally. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said on Saturday that she will announce the new government on Monday. Ms. Ardern had earlier in the month led the centre-left Labour Party to its biggest election victory in half a century to secure a second consecutive term. Armenia and Azerbaijan again traded accusations on Saturday in the protracted conflict in the mountain enclave of Nagorno-Karabakh. The two countries once more accused each other of bombing residential areas on Saturday in defiance of a pact to avoid the deliberate targeting of civilians in the region. And now moving on to sports. In tennis, it has been upsets galore. World number 1 Novak Djokovic lost to Lorenzo Sonego, while the US Open champion Dominic Thiem was defeated by Andrei Rublev at the Vienna Open in the quarterfinals. And in football, Spanish giant Real Madrid cruised to a comfortable victory over Huesca in their league tie today. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to Vaishnava Jan by artists from Cuba. And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.